Hey guys, this is Kevin with the State Media House. I want to make a quick training on an issue I've been seeing a lot within different groups and just talking to different prospects, which is high pressure sales tactics and how they're costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost revenue. This is something that it doesn't matter if you have a ton of people coming into your open house, a ton of people reading your emails or liking your post. If you don't know how to close a deal and you're using these high pressure sales tactics, then you're leaving money on the table, you're wasting potential clients, and you're wasting potential lifetime sources of new business, new clientele. So before I get into how you can fix that, I do want to go into what is high pressure sales to begin with. So high pressure sales, here's a couple examples of it. Endless chatter, emotionally manipulating the buyer, like peer pressure, any of that kind of stuff, trying to guilt trip them into buying, chasing after the buyer. Here's the thing, if you're chasing after the buyer, you're never going to close because you're no longer the leader in that context. You're no longer the person to go to. You come across as desperate. You come across as you need the sale, and that just kills off any sort of interest in the buyer. If you think about it in the way of a relationship, if you're the one running after them all the time and chasing them down like you need it, then you're never going to get the deal. You're never going to get it closed. Same thing with bait and switch. Let's say you got a property, looks great, but you forget to mention that the piping is rusty or the tile is actually really old or that there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, but you just conveniently ignore it even if the buyer asks about it. The other thing, just went over it, which is peer pressure. If you're trying to just bait them or guilt trip them into buying, sometimes this happens more in the auto industry, but this is still something that you want to avoid. You want to position yourself as a leader, not as someone who is desperate to close and is trying to basically force them into making a decision right at this moment. So how can you fix that? First thing, lead with value. By leading with value, I'm talking about you want to frame everything you do as something that's in the buyer's best interest and it's something that's going to benefit them. So always prioritize your client's best interest because if you have a buyer and he's trying to get a condo and he really likes condos, that's his thing. And you're trying to guilt trip him into getting an apartment complex or getting a penthouse because that's the listings you have available and you just don't want to send him over to a buddy of yours who has listings for townhouses or condos that he's looking for. And you want that sale, you want the sale so badly. So you're not prioritizing his best interest, you're prioritizing your best interest. And that's something you want to avoid at all costs. This also goes into the third point, which is you only want to close someone or attempt to close someone who is a good fit and is financially qualified for this. Because let's say you have a nice penthouse in Miami and they're not really looking for a penthouse, they're looking for a home for their family or they're looking for a place different than that, then and they're not only going to Miami as a vacation, they're not actually moving there. You're trying to like close them and close them and close them. You're like, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's gonna feel high pressure. That's gonna put them in the wrong spot, and trying to get them to make a decision there on the spot is always gonna leave a bad taste in their mouth after that emotional high has worn off. The other thing that goes into this is like when you're chasing down someone and and you seem desperate, you're like, I need the sale, I need the sale, you're never going to get the sale. And that's where creating the proper follow-up system is important. We have a follow-up system that we teach all of our clients, which is a way to balance this out. So you're still being persistent and you're still consistently leading with value and keeping in touch with them, but you're not chasing them down to the point where they're thinking that you're stalking them or something, because that's never going to happen. You're never going to close any deal by running after them as if they took your wallet or something. The only time that you're going to close someone is when they're at the three tens, which is where they're 10 on you, that they think you're a respectful realtor, you know what's in best interest for them. They're at a 10 on the product, in that case the home, and that the home is a good fit for them, as well as the 10 as a company. Because if they know nothing about your brokerage and they think that you guys are some scam artist, then it's not going to happen. So that's all all of those three need to be in alignment in order for you to close that deal and close that home. And if you're not conscious of these, then you're leaving hundreds of thousands on the table, because the time that you're wasting on people who aren't a good fit, who aren't actually someone who's going to be interested or qualified, is time you could be spending with people who are your ideal client, and spending time with people who are financially qualified and actually are looking for the listings you have, or looking for what you're doing, or the type of buyers you want to work with, or sellers who you want to work with. So if you have any questions on sort of creating that follow-up system to prevent seeming like you're coming off annoying, or if you have any questions about, like, or maybe you're using some high pressure tactics but you aren't sure, you want to review some sales calls, let me know. My phone number is listed here. You can send me any email with your questions here at kevin@estatemediahouse.com, or you can book a quick call with me at calendly.com/estatemediahouse, and we can talk one-on-one about you and your goals and figure out what's the best course of action to take, whether that's referral or partnering with us. And that's it. Have a good day.